Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I'm here to welcome you to episode number 15 of Doodle Gems. This time we're doing Star Sapphire. So let's go ahead and get started and I'll tell you about things as we're going along. What we're going to do here is we're taking a glass gem, just a clear glass cabochon, and I'm going to trace that because what I'll be doing is making a sandwich with the picture in this metal tray with the glass gem over the top of it and making it into a pendant. And what got me started doing that, I had made one because I had bought a little kit. I'm going to move it over on the paper. I had made one because I had bought a little kit that had some of these, and I tried out one of my doodle gems in it, and it was so fun and so pretty. And I had some people at VidCon ask me if I made them and sold them. And I said, well, I'm going to make them and do a video on how to make them. And then if they still wanted to buy one instead of making their own, then we could talk. I don't have an Etsy store right now. That might be something in my future. I don't know. Haven't figured that one out yet. I think if I have a store, it feels more like this is really a real business. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and just gone in about 1/4 of an inch from the outside edge, and I drew what's going to be the actual gem. I'm using my Indigo blue Prismacolor right now. All of this is going to be colored in with Prismacolor this time. You don't have to have Prismacolor. You can use any color pencils. These just happen to be the ones that I picked up this time. And using the Indigo, it makes it nice because I can start laying in my shadow edge. The Star Sapphire is a really pretty stone. It has interesting fibers that are inside that create, when they line up just right, they create this star. And what I'm doing is sort of putting in the star using my white. And you really can't see much. You can see a slight blue haze here. And that's because I actually picked up a little bit of the blue from that edge. And I did that on purpose so that you would be able to see it. And if you believe that, there might be a bridge somewhere that I can sell you. Now, that was just a happy accident. I hadn't planned it on purpose. So this is a layered stone, and I'm going to go ahead and lay in my first color, which is going to be a light cerulean blue, right in along the legs of the star. And this star has the lightest color right here at the very center, where the legs of the star all join together. All right, in between these legs of the star, this is where the highlight, the top highlight is. Now, we won't be using the white signal on this one because of the glass gem going over the top, the clear glass. It makes it so that it reflects the highlights correctly for the lighting that you're in. So if you're putting highlights on, you're forcing some highlights that wouldn't necessarily be there. And you don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab my violet blue. And I'm going to step down a little bit from the center. It's not quite as high up. Just going to work our way down. One of the neat things about this, you can lay in these colors sort of in a bullseye with your lightest color in the very center, closest to the junction of all of those legs. Your next darkest color about 1/3 of the way down. And I'm sort of trying to taper these little legs in just a bit as I go. taper those legs just a smidge. And now this back one over here is a little farther away from me, so it's thinner, it's narrower. That back pie, that piece of pie. I wish I could eat pie. The only time I can eat pie is if I make it myself, because I can't eat the crust. I love pie crust. Good old pie crust cookies or little pie turnovers. But to have those, I have to make them myself. All right, and now I'm using that indigo blue to come up. I'm not pushing really hard yet. There will be a second layer. There will be a second layer. Now when I went to VidCon, that was amazing. I got to meet some great artists, YouTubers, a lot of fun. I got some pictures with some. I got to hang out with some, which was really surprising and special to me. I wasn't expecting some of this. So, you know, it makes me happy, and it makes me want, because a couple of them are the ones that asked about these gems. I'm taking the white and I'm going into that light in the center and working my way down towards the edge. See how that just made that blend? How that blend just happens when you put that white on there. And in this instance, I like the white better than using the colorless blender, because this really melds those colors together. It softens them some. It softens them. You see that? And it makes it feel more like there's light going through. At least it does to me. I might be easily impressed. I don't know. But I'm having fun. And I'm working very hard at not moving this out of your view so that you can see every step. I'm very sorry about on that last video of the Rainbow Obsidian. I realized after I was editing that I kept jumping off the screen. And now look at how this sort of starburst is happening with the light in the center. Look at that. I want to narrow up this little leg down here where it comes down, so it's more coming into a point or a narrower space. The same with this one. Narrow that down and throw a little bit more of really dark indigo blue right around the base. And coming up, just darken that up quite a bit. But blend it in. You don't want a hard line. You want to feather this in. That's what you want to do. You want to feather it in. So many different types of stones can have this star-like formation in them. I believe they call it asterism, which is basically to make a star. And it's a corundum type stone, which is actually almost as hard as diamonds, not quite, but closer to the hardness of diamonds. They use corundum on sandpapers, of all things. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to throw our doodle on. Look how quick this is going. I am so excited about this. I am going to put a quick outline around the stone. Just a quick little outline around the stone itself. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to put 4 other blue gems that are my quick and easies. My quick and easy gems. And we're going to have just a little bit of a decoration going around here. And if you notice, I'm staying inside my blue line that is what the outside of that glass gem would be, so that when I trim it out, this will fit inside of the tray. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to do a second video for making the actual pendant. A second video for making the actual pendant, because there's some gluing time. There's some time that you need to wait for things. And I want to get this video done so that it can go up on its proper day. And then we will have a special video on Thursday that week. And this is going up on the 4th of July. And that's why I'm doing the star, because it reminds me of fireworks. This star just makes me think of a burst of light, a burst of fireworks. And I just switch the direction of my little leaves or feather veins or whatever we want to call these this time. Just switched them up because that's fun to do. You don't have to stay going all the way around the same direction. You can if you want to. You can if you want to. You can do a totally different design going around your gem if you want to. Remember that I do not say that you have to do it exactly the way I do it. All I say is do something. Do something. Make a gem. Have fun. Doodle. Find some joy in your day. Find a little joy in your day. So real quick, we're going to pop those little gems. And my white actually has a bit of blue on it still from coloring the sapphire. So I'm just throwing some white on top half of each of those. Nothing hard, nothing hard. I'm grabbing the light cerulean blue that we had used in the actual gem in the Star Sapphire, which keeps this in the same family. You could have go to a totally different color stone. Doesn't have to be the blue. That's just what I chose. But I like how having that white on there, look at all that shading that's already happened, just because that white was on there when I put the blue. The white acts almost like a little resist. And so then you're working right up to it and over it ever so slightly. And then I will take the indigo blue and put my tight shadow right in around the base of that, just to give it a little bit more of a three-dimensional feel. Just a smidge, maybe up around the edge just a little bit. Look at that. How fun and easy this was. And now you have a beautiful Star Sapphire. You can put it in any setting you want. I just have it set up so that when I cut it out, I'll be able to make the pendant. But what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just drop the stone on top of it, the glass. And now you can see how that looks. And now you can see what I meant about the natural highlights, hitting it and shifting with it so that you end up with a very dynamic looking stone. There we go. I hope you enjoyed this. Please click like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. If you do it, share it with me. I've got a Facebook page, I've got Instagram, I've got Twitter. All of that information is down below in the description, along with the colors. And I will go ahead and list where to get the parts to make the necklaces. And they even have bracelet blanks. But I will put the information in this one. So take care, get out, and do something creative.